Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to my first reveal video. I'm really excited about doing this. What you're seeing right now are bits and pieces of different videos that I put together, just clips and such. And here's the reason why you're seeing it this way. Originally, I wanted to create 3 different videos, each one building up to the crescendo of the fall color, the cornucopia of colors that we're going to be exploding out on to the video screen that you were watching. Unfortunately, it just didn't work that way. The first and second video, the first weekend and the second weekend video, they turned out really pretty good. I'm not great at this, but they turned out pretty good. And I thought, well, that, I might show those someday. But it's that third long week video that kind of fell apart. It started out really great. We have some fog video in there, shooting and kind of explaining what I'm shooting, and kind of being in the moment in that video. And I think it turned out pretty good. But that's it. I've got great images from there, but I can't put the rest of the week's videos together with that. It just doesn't make sense. I didn't feel like it was going to be a strong enough video to have you guys sit there and watch and feel like in the end you were wasting a lot of time. So these clips of videos, I think, from the different weeks that I camped is going to be kind of neat to look at, but it's a filler to the final reveal of the image that I created. One of many images that I'm really happy with, but this is my first image, first reveal. So without further ado, let's get started. My random landing into the slow decay. Leaf study number 42. So I came across this scene as I was walking down the river on a trail at Palisade State Park. Palisade State Park suffered a derecho back in August of 2020. I don't think it suffered as much as, say, the parks that did in Cedar Rapids. Some of the parks in Cedar Rapids were very heavy treed, and now there's very little trees left in those parks. Luckily, Kepler didn't suffer that kind of damage, but there was a lot of damage, a lot of downed trees. Some of the trails had to be cleared with chainsaws. This stump, when I was inspecting it, looks like it suffered trauma. Like whatever tree that was there, either it was crushed by another tree as it came down, or it broke in the wind. Either way, it's jagged. It's not that smooth cut that you get from a chainsaw. It looks like it was torn. So I was looking at this leaf, and I was looking at the various states of the decay and the other leaves. The bright leaf right there was yellow, with the modeling being a rust color. Underneath it is various states of kind of a reddish to brown to eventually being kind of in fine powder, disintegrated leaves. It really did have that life to death type thing, but all that eventually will end up in the ground and eventually be the next generation's food for growth. And I wanted to tell that story. I saw that story when I saw it. So took a few photos of it, and when I came home, along with the other photos that I did, I looked through them in Lightroom, picked out the ones that I liked. This was one of them. Tweaked it a little in Lightroom, took it into Photoshop, and worked it as if I was in an old-fashioned type darkroom. That's the way I like to use Photoshop. And again, this is in color as I'm working on it. And I got it to a state where the colors were just right, and it had a moody look to it, and I was really happy with it. But I've found over the years, the best thing to do is put it away, look at it later, and still see if you have that same impact. About a week later, I pulled it out and I looked at it, and I really liked it, but it didn't have that same impact on me. So I did the only thing that I can think of doing is I turned it into black and white. And after turning it into black and white, it really then had that drama of the story that I wanted to tell. The leaf that was just falling in there and it's slowly decaying on top of all the other leaves that are in various states of decay or have not gone. The blackness of that is the stuff that has finally disappeared. I love black and white, moody black and whites like this because I love the rich tones of the grays. If you look at black and white, it's either white is 1 on a scale and then black is 10. And we've got that really represented. A little bit of 1s, probably that leaf right there is probably a 5, 4, somewhere around in there. We'll just say average 5 or 4 in there. And then the leaves underneath it are like 7s and 8s, and it finally disappears to where you don't see any details in the shadows. There are some details in the shadows, but a lot of the stuff on the edge has lost its detail, and I love that, especially when I warm it up. That's my favorite. I love a warm tone black and white, not overpowering where it looks brown, but just enough warmth in it. And once I finished that, I put it away, came back to it, and it still had the same impact on me. So I knew I was finished with this image, and I knew I was ready to bring it out. And I made a print of it, had to do a little tweaking to make the print work the way I saw it on the monitor. And again, I'm just really thrilled with this image, and I'm hoping that as you look at that and listen to the story that you are too. Thanks again for listening to my Shaggy Dog story about my leaf image that I did here. Eventually, I'm going to have it on my webpage for you to purchase. So if you really like it and you want to purchase it, keep patient. We're going to get that out there, and I'll let you know as soon as it's available to purchase. I'm also working on another reveal for a scene in a fog that was done on a Saturday, one of our first Saturdays of my week-long trip. It was a beautiful one. I have to credit my wife for getting me up and out and moving. If she hadn't done that, we would have never gotten this image. So it'll be a part of the story about how I got this image. Yeah, and I'm really excited to show it to you here soon. Some of you might have already seen it on my Instagram page, but it's a better story, and I'd like to talk a little bit more about that image. But until then, thanks again. You like this, what you see, pass it along. Again, I'm not out here trying to get big audience. I just want people to enjoy my images. So if you enjoy it, pass it along. I would really appreciate it. And until the next time you hear from me, everybody have a great one. Thanks.